The girl didn't seem to want to leave. In the end, she confessed to Azeff. The fact is that I had a nightmare yesterday. This dream disturbed me very much. I would not want you to leave because you may be in danger, so it's better to sit at home today. A man does not believe such dreams because he is not a naive child. The girl apologized for such an expression, and the blonde then found a reason to offer his wish list. I wanted you to come out as my companion at the court's festival, he said. At LJT's, when listening to this question, the spoon immediately fell from her hands. Azeff was a little ashamed because he did not want the girl to think badly of him. The guy assumed that he had already become close friends with LJ. He had never been so lucky to meet someone who could become a close friend. And he will also be ashamed if he ends up at the court's festival unaccompanied. He needs the help of the blonde in this. But Jay remembers that he sent a letter to Lady Tyros to accompany him to the party, and it will be embarrassing if LJ goes with him. The girl excuses herself by saying what she thinks, and the guy intends to wait until the end for her answer. The lady understands that she should have refused him immediately, because the end could be bad. When she looked into his eyes, she could not tell the truth. Azeff strokes her, then teaches her pills to take. This medicine will take the rest of the smoke of the drug out of the body. The guy treated the girl like a child. She was a little ashamed. The Marquis pulled out his expensive coat on Jay because her cape was dirty. Suddenly, the servant calls the owner with the news. Lady Elsa from the Tyus family has just arrived. LG is shocked. She runs and looks at the door, and this is really her sister. She is scared because in the novel, there was their fateful meeting, but it was not clearly written there what exactly attracted him to her. Nevertheless, fate will bring them together, and in the end, he will fall in love with her. That is why she did not want to go with him to the court's festival, and now, because of her, their meeting will happen even earlier than necessary. And in the story at the very end, the Emperor Alcester will come, then a pink sentence will appear on Elsa's hand, and the guy will not endure this. LJ immediately blushes all over. She is very worried and does not know how to get out of this situation. Azeff should not meet Elsa so that the situation in the novel does not happen, so that he does not fall in love with her at first sight. They talk among themselves and Elsa comes to them. This unexpected moment sets Jay on guard. She is boiling all over. Elsa walks past LJ and touches her dress. Green-eyed, immediately starts yelling at her that it's wrong with her sister. How many times have I told you that when you leave the house, you should be more careful, says LJ. They resolve their issues, then the sister approaches Azeff, calling him my lord. They get to know each other and the guy smiles at her in response. The girl starts swearing at him, saying that you made my sister cry. She felt bad. She was with you all night. As the red-eyed one says, her sister violated all the norms of decency by coming to this house. LG calms her down, but she is all violent since the Marquis allegedly made Jay cry. The blonde understands that this woman is ill-mannered, ignorant, and aggressive, like a wild cat. The guy points to Elsa with his finger and hints to the girl that she is strange. They calm down. The blonde comes up to apologize to him. She promises that she will return the coat next time, and the guy is not patiently waiting for this moment. The girls get into the carriage and leave. The next day, Lady Tyros arrives with her friend. Supposedly, they stop by to say hello to him, because last time he helped them with deed. Lady Tyros communicates with Azeff and asks him a question about a couple for a court's event. He does not answer. He excuses himself that he has important business and must leave immediately, after which they disperse. The Marquis constantly thinks about LJTS. Without her, he is very bored. Colleagues at work, his assistant asks him why he is so inattentive, because for a couple of days he did not work with him at all. Azeff at this time is very angry with LJ because she literally sent him away. She does not come to him. She does not even send any letter. At work with a colleague, he did not manage to do anything because of her. Angry, the guy broke his pen right on the table. He wanted to go immediately to Jay to see her. Since she does not come, Azeff will go to her. The guy was walking and then he meets her father, Azenthias. They greeted each other, shook hands, had not seen each other for a long time. Meanwhile, Jay was crying like crazy. She missed him very much, although she did not want to see him. The girl did not dare to give him the coat or not. All these questions were difficult. They continued to communicate about work. Suddenly, the guy noticed that Jay's father began to think about something. He, of course, asked him about it. The man told him that his eldest daughter was sick, so he could not concentrate on his work. Hearing this, Azeff seemed to be frozen. He thought that perhaps for this reason the girl did not get in touch with him. They said goodbye to their father and left. The father, in truth, would very much like to give his daughter in marriage to the prince. He was perfect. Here she is, arrived on a court, all shiny LJ. They greeted each other. Then the guy asked her what she was doing here so early, and the girl replied that she would like to have a serious talk with him. The couple went into the yard, and the blonde gave her compliments because she was too beautiful. Azeff offered her to eat, but she refused, saying that she had arrived after breakfast. They decided that they would ride a horse, but the girl did not like it because she was not dressed for this at all. But the man promised her that everything would be fine and went home for a couple of seconds. The Marquis became very angry. Yesterday she sent him away and today she came to him herself. "What is wrong with her?" he said. The guy poured some kind of strange sleeping pill into a mug, after which he returned to LJ. They arrived in the forest. The princess was delighted with this view. She did not even know that such a forest existed nearby. The guy started to ride very fast, and as it became clear, he took this sleeping pill to prick the horse so that he fell asleep, and they remained in the middle of the forest. And at that moment, the horse fell with them. The girl screamed very loudly, as she was hurt from hitting the ground. Jay approached Azeff. She began to apologize for falling on him, and he got a wound. Azeff lied to her. Allegedly, one of his enemies did it. A dangerous man injected poison into the horse. Jay asked him not to worry about it, because the guy's wound was more important now, although there is no blood, but he could break something for himself. Jay decided to look under the saddle of the horse because there could be some kind of medicine, and thank God she found them. The girl immediately brought the medicine to the guy, and he asked her to help him pull out his shirt. The red lady took off his shirt and asked what it was from. He replied that the stepmother had her own methods of education. Jay cried very hard. She remembered those moments in the novel. The girl literally sobbed from the memories. The guy reassured her, but it did not help, sharply hugging him. She told him that she would protect him and would not let anyone offend. She cried very hard. She felt too bad, and the girl fell. As soon as she fell, Azeff's and Jay's body began to glow. The guy was in shock. He did not understand what was happening, but the girl did not get up. She was very, very ill. They arrived home. Azeff called the doctors. They said that everything was fine with her, but it was possible that the lady's internal organs were damaged. The Marquis immediately remembered the case where they fell from a horse. Perhaps at that moment she damaged her organs. The doctors asked her to take off her clothes as she might feel sick, so she would breathe better. But the guy did not like this idea because the doctors were men. He called the servant, then asked them to drive out of this house. He will take Jay to the women's doctors. He was left alone with her. The guy thought what to do and suddenly remembered how the doctor advised to take off LJ's clothes so she could breathe better. The Marquis did not want to do this at all, but he knew that it could help her come to her senses. The fur guy took off her outer clothes, then suddenly Olmo came in without knocking. The prince began to scold him that they didn't come in without knocking, but the servant reminded that a little earlier the guy said that you can go in without knocking because the girl was sleeping. The servant turns out to have brought a woman doctor, and at that moment LJ woke up. Azeff ran to her. His joy knew no bounds. The Marquis called the doctor. She began to examine her. The girl said that she was really good, but Azeff insisted that her doctor check it. The woman examined her. She did not have any injuries at all. It is possible that she had lost a lot of vital energy lately. She was very worried, and everything happened due to this, and also Jay had an unstable pulse. The doctor went to bring the pills. She asked her to rest in bed. Jay began to worry about Azeff because he had an injury. She said that she would immediately bring a bandage, but he refused. It would be better for him if she stays with him rather than go for a bandage. He put his head on her shoulder and was glad that he lured the girl to him. Now she will only think about him. Suddenly, a servant knocked. Azeff asked not to disturb them right now, but his sister burst into their room. In this, our video has come to an end. Don't forget to watch our other retellings, and also subscribe to our channel if you want to continue this manhwa. See you soon.